Previously on the Mr.Matt internet video program.
He's got mad for that mask he has. He's ended up wearing it all the time. It's really, really weird.
Someone set us up the bomb. Do we have any idea where he is now? I've just got a message through. Apparently he's being held in an internal site. We need to find him. Ooh, I've just got a message through. Oh, an advert.
New from Butcher Juice. You've tried our smooth orange juice. You've gulped down our delicious juice with bits. You've glugged on our squeezed goods with additional bits. But now, we're revolutionizing the juice. Usually, we discard the bones before we juice our oranges. But now, we're shoving it all in the juicer. New! Butcher orange juice with bones added. Get your vitamin C and calcium all in one chunky orangey bony drink. Grab some today.
Warning, choking hazard. Butcher Juice Limited does not accept any liability in the event of choking, scalaritis, or other conditions coming from the consumption of our juice.
What's that? Oh, we found him down the back of a sofa.
Free at last. Oh, well, partially free. I've still got to end up getting the lower section of me out of the back of this sofa. Whilst I do that, roll the titles, and when we come back, we'll hopefully get the show started.
On this thing right now, we look at the codes and conventions of online videos. We squeeze a peek at strange requests on the YouTubes.
Just below me.
Attempt to figure out what this is.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe,
Join the Discord.
follow me on the Twitters, sign up to the MySpace.
We also need to ask if it's always someone else's tube. Or when will it be my tube? Or me tube? When will Mimi be a tube man?
Mimi, I'm a tube man.
I want to be a food tuber too.
To begin, since the dawn of the internet back in the 6th century, until it was able to be put back onto itself, people have wanted to convey things, either via written text, images, spoken voice, or flash animations. Eventually, things moved on to videos, and many years later, accessible video editing tools were available to all.
But of course, before all of this, we had traditional forms of media. Plays, theatre, films, radio, TV, raving on a street corner, and throwing a javelin with a banner attached. As there are divergence between each of these, there are also unique elements of internet content.
But what are those? Why are those? Who are those? Those.
Internet videos tend to cover a wide range of subjects, such as the mediocrity of existence,
And then we get disappointed when we get the grapes, when instead, we could just be buying gushers.
distraction from that existence with bright lights, how to distract from existence with doing things, along with other elements of existence deliverable in pixel form.
So how are those things delivered directly to your eye holes via that internet pipe that we all love so much? One way is the direct-to-camera, which is typically faster to produce, more reactionary to the bespoke topics the channel covers, but also requires more forward planning and the ability to present. Botches can be a bit harder to hide, hence why you'll see jump cuts that can be a tad jarring. These cuts can, of course, be used to speed up a video and make it more concise. This method works really well for news updates. It's how the news networks present the soul-crushing reality around us, with a person talking directly to a camera.
Another format is the voiceover images or videos. These tend to be easier to produce, but require a bit more time to perfect. They also allow for more edits, and can be more concise about the covered subject. This tends to be useful for more retrospective videos, giving the ability to provide additional context with cutaways and, if needed, additional pizzazz.
There are of course other ways to present those online video things. Obviously one of the biggest ones is just taking stuff off the TV or films and just putting it online, just in the hopes that you don't get caught and you can end up getting ad revenue. Or reacting to stuff in over-the-top ways in an attempt to cultivate reactions in an endless loop of reactions, where someone is reacting to something that's happened, and then they hope that the audience will end up reacting, and then one of those people from the audience will end up reacting in a video, and thus the loop continues.
They're also just plonking through a video game and chatting over the top, as seen on the Twitch and other places where RGB lighting and gaming chairs are bred for pedigree.
Apparently in the future they're going to end up having really flat faces. So let's say that you, like me, are deluded enough to think that you can make an online video. So what could you do to convey that you know what you're on about?
Well, tone of voice helps. Being able to sound like you have an idea that you know what noises are coming out of your mouth really helps to get your point across. Another element that is pretty useful if you're doing on-camera stuff is setting up a ton of props behind you relating to what you're blabbering on about. Just look here, freeze, enhance. Wait, did that in the wrong order? Zoom, enhance, track. There we go. As we can see here from the excellent RMC, or which I believe actually stands for Rice My Computer, there are old systems and games. This helps settle the viewer into an expectation of the content that will be on the channel, and other previous or future elements that will crop up. It gives the impression that the presenter knows about the subject due to the dedication to the bespoke elements included within the set. It's also a way for YouTube personalities to show off the placard thing, which also adds to the cognitive impression cultivated for the viewer. Another aspect that really helps is adding in more visual flair. Title sequences, background music, funny props, and amusing skits or two. Or you could even end up having recurring characters that build over time before being overplayed and eventually caricatures of themselves.
For an example of a prop, the excellent Sarah Z ends up using a beverage in one hand through most of it. This ends up being a really easy device to end up connecting with the audience, and it also ends up allowing for natural pauses for edits and cuts. It's a really useful little tool.
Oh, and just like the content from the place that we used to like, they're starting to put more adverts into the content itself. So we can enjoy adverts before and after. Oh, and adverts that will stop to pause the video and give us an advert, along with the advert built into it from the makers of the video.
At adverts, they've always shared a trait with wasps, constantly appearing and ruining everything they unexpectedly show up in, such as a pie.
Now, when I was trapped down the back of the sofa for about 3 or 4 months, I ended up making a lot of great friends down the back of there. Unfortunately, not all of them could make it out from the back of the sofa. You know what, I'll just take my mind off it with just some random YouTube adverts.
Meet Shiver and Shake Rainbow Kate. Give her medicine and she really talks to you. I'm so cold. So cold.
So cold. So cold.
Audience retention is something that the online platforms love to get the creators to plug over and over again, as if the platforms are powerless to assist with getting channels more subscribers or likes. Absolutely powerless. No improvements at all can be made to help. Not with the UI or the different ways of viewing the content. Powerless, I tell you. So they instruct the creators to follow the idea of constantly demanding like, share and subscribes. At the start, at the end, during, subliminally, liminally and superliminally. The channels on here need to do this to ensure that they continue to get views, express that they have an amount of subscribers, they get such and such engagement per video, metrics upon metrics upon metrics. It'd be nice if YouTube could develop a bit more of an elegant way to display subscriptions, such as being able to tag subscriptions together so I can keep all the channels I subscribe to together, so the home screen can display them along with other related videos in that subject that I'm not subscribed to, rather than the current mess.
The differences between traditional content and the new form of easier to create online content are there, but I think that as online content evolves, it will continue to take more from what came before it, whilst evolving into a more unique entity that will eventually grow stale and be replaced by content directly into your brain, replacing what's left of our imaginations with adverts.
So there we have it, the first show of Series 2. Obviously this is probably stuff that you're already aware of, or stuff that you've already noticed in the backgrounds and the way that a lot of YouTube videos are constructed already. If any of this has been useful to you, then fantastic. If it's not, then thanks for getting to this point. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll see you again at some point in the near future for maybe episode 2, or if we've been completely cancelled, then it's been great, doing this little bit.